I squeezed my eyes closed as I walked slowly down the red carpet. It was my wedding day, yet my heart was only full of bitterness. The cold wind was embracing me, touching my bare skin that wasn't covered by the white wedding dress I was wearing. The veil was completely covering my whole face as the crowd watched me walk down the aisle. I don't know them, and it's making me even more miserable. What does it feel to marry a man for money? You're always calling me a gold digger, but it turns out you're also one. That was what my evil and pretentious stepmom said when she heard that I had an agreement with a man twice my age for money to save my mom's company. The situation is making me want to hurt everyone around me. I want to pull my stepmom's hair until she's completely bald and throw her out of my father's house ruthlessly. Don't be nervous. You're doing the right thing for our family, and that was what my dad said when he drove for me to get to this venue. I smiled bitterly underneath the veil. Doing the right thing? This is the wrong thing I could barely swallow, just to save the only thing my mother handed down to me. My dad seemed so proud that I was doing this to save my mom's company. It was all his stupid stepson's fault anyway. If he hadn't loaned a huge amount of money and used my mom's company as collateral, this would never happen to me. Today I'm marrying a man twice my age, and he sent a representative instead of attending this D*MN wedding himself. Speaking of my supposed husband's representative, I looked at the man waiting for me at the end of the aisle. A handsome man who was smiling sweetly, like an idiot, was standing there. I'd say he's a good actor for smiling genuinely like that. My eyes raked his whole, from his hair down to his face and body. He has brown curly hair. He has sharp jaws, thick eyebrows, a blue pair of eyes, a pointed nose, reddish thin lips, and dimples on his left cheek. He's undeniably gorgeous, but the fact that he's only a representative and my real husband is almost like my dad makes me feel so pathetic. This desperation wouldn't have come to another level if my father hadn't betrayed me, giving my position to his stupid stepson who's addicted to gambling. I felt tears rolling down my cheeks, which I quickly wiped. I'm gonna give myself to a man I don't even like. How pathetic could that be? I stopped in front of him, and he held my hand, intertwining our fingers. My forehead creased because of what he did. He's taking this pretension to another level, isn't he? I tried to shrug his hand off, but he glanced at me, and my lips parted when he kissed the back of my hand after we stopped in front at the end of the aisle. What was wrong with this guy? Did he remember he was only a representative? Who gave him the guts to do that to me? I tried to pull my hand back again, and I saw his forehead crease as he stared at my hand as if realizing something, but the ceremony started, interrupting our thoughts. I just ignored the weird man beside me. We wouldn't meet anymore after the ceremony anyway. The ceremony goes on until it's time to exchange wedding rings and vows. His face showed confusion again when I said my vows. When it was time to lift my veil, he was slow and seemed hesitant, and it's making me irritated. I had no idea what he had to worry about as just a representative. I need no one to stress what a disgrace this wedding will be in my life. There were no better options for me, and I just hoped to skip this shameful part quickly. Is this too much to ask? Thank goodness. He finally remembered his duty and lifted my veil. But it was also at the same moment when he saw my face. All the confusion in his eyes turned to shock and anger. You're not Anne. Who are you? Terrence's POV. I had expected this day for a long time. The wedding day of Anne and me. Yet at this moment, no words to describe my shock when a totally strange face appeared under the veil. This woman is a beauty, but exactly not my bride. Who the hell is she? Why is she at my wedding, and more importantly, where is my bride? Sir, your bride ran away. Dan, my assistant whispered to me when he went beside me. What? But your father said you have to continue the ceremony. You just got appointed as the president of Empire Grey. A false bride will create a big scandal, and will put your current position at risk. I clenched my jaws and looked at my dad, who was watching silently. My eyes then went to the crowd, and they were all anticipating the kiss. FCK. My wedding is private. Even the identity of my bride is a secret from the public, and they don't have any idea that this woman isn't supposed to be my bride. I squeezed my eyes closed and looked at the woman in front of me again. She was looking at me with a creased forehead. FCK. Is she crazy? Does she even know that I'm not her supposed groom? What kind of man is she f***ing marrying that she didn't seem to know his looks? Wait, was she sent by someone to pretend as my bride? This woman must be one of those girls obsessed with me. Marrying Anne is my dream, but I've also been dreaming of being the president of my father's company since I was a little boy. I worked so hard to get in that position, and I won't let it go. Besides, my father would definitely punish me harshly if I dared dishonor our family in public. Anyway, take it as a stupid show, and I can just get rid of this woman after this f***ing wedding. Kiss me, I whispered, clenching my jaws. She shot an eyebrow up even when she looked shocked because of what I said. I don't want to cheat on, and so I don't want to start this kiss first. But D*MN. This woman is so dumb. I gritted my teeth and put my arms around her waist. Without further ado, I pulled her closer to me, angled my face, and claimed her lips. I kissed her rough, punishing her for pretending as my bride, and she f***ing bit my lip, making it bleed. Shit. What the F? I paused and looked around, realizing I cursed out loud. I awkwardly laughed and pulled the woman's waist closer, smirking at her, which shocked her again. You're too hungry for me, baby. Can't wait for our honeymoon? How dare you kiss me? I growled at him as soon as we entered his car. He looked at me with a darkened expression. How dare you pretend to be my bride? I laughed sarcastically because of his remark. Shut the hell up, you brute. Call your boss now and remind him about our agreement. His forehead creased. Are you on drugs? I don't have a f***ing boss. I am the boss. I laughed again and took the hairpin from my hair and threw it at his chest. Quit the f***ing act, you moron. The show has ended, so you better get your act together and do as I say. Call your boss. Damn. Why did he even send a dumbass for a representative? Representative? What the FCK is this? A meeting? You're seriously sick in the head. Get out before I kick you out myself. I clenched my jaws and balled my fists. I'm not always this short-tempered, but this guy can easily make my blood boil for some reason. Just f***ing call your boss. I don't have all day to chat here with you. I'm too busy to chat with you too. And quit f***ing cursing. You're so f***ing loud. Do you want me to shut you up? With what? With your lame kiss? I said sarcastically, rolling my eyes. His jaws dropped, obviously offended. Lame? You f***ing want to be kissed again? This time I'll make sure you'll wet your panties really badly. Damn you, pervert. I screamed in anger and was about to punch him in the face when my phone vibrated. Mr. Jones, my husband is calling. I was able to sigh in relief, but I glared at the man beside me while answering the call. Hello? Where the hell are you? My representative has been waiting for you for almost 2 hours now. Are you sure you still want to save your company? My lips parted as I slowly looked at the man beside me. His forehead was creased while constantly calling someone on his phone and cursing under his breath. What? I asked as I swallowed hard. I think I misheard him. Don't tell me you're lost? The venue is in the west part of the resort, Emery. There's another wedding in the east part. You shouldn't roam around and get to the venue quickly. I feel like I suddenly became weak. I dropped my phone on the floor of the car as my hands and lips trembled. What the hell? What's wrong with you, sicko? I swallowed hard. Is this the east part? His forehead creased. The FCK are you saying? I cupped my mouth as tears rolled down my cheeks. Oh my god. Did I marry the wrong man? He stared at me with furrowed eyebrows, but he clenched his jaws and grabbed my shoulders. What are you talking about? Are you saying you came to the wrong wedding? You were not sent by someone? You didn't hide my bride? I wiped my tears using the back of my hands and shook my head. I need to leave. Wait. He held my arm, stopping me from leaving. I need to go and marry my real husband. He shook his head. No, damn it. You just married me. What if someone sees you marrying someone else? You'll ruin my reputation, woman. I looked at him in disbelief. Are you kidding me? I can't waste time here. Besides, we haven't signed any legal documents yet. Still, you can't just leave after ruining my wedding. I did not ruin your wedding, mister. You shouldn't have continued the wedding in the first place since you saw that I'm not your real bride. He clenched his jaws and looked away. I did that to save myself from embarrassment. What do you mean embarrassment? Isn't this more embarrassing now? Look. He let go of my arm and gritted his teeth as his blue eyes stared at me intensely. My real bride ran away. I don't know if it's true or if someone abducted her. I need to find her, and before that, you have to act as my bride for now. What? I quickly shook my head. No, I can't. I need to leave now and marry my supposed husband. You're not the only desperate one here, mister. I'm about to lose my mother's company. I can't let it happen. I'll help you. I was taken aback. Help me? How is he gonna help me? Is he rich? Does he have millions? Looking at the wedding, it wasn't that grand. Yes. The decorations are beautiful and the venue is fascinating, but it doesn't look like a rich man's wedding. He doesn't even have many visitors. I laughed sarcastically. Don't make me laugh. How much do you need? The seriousness in his voice and the darkness in his eyes made me still. I stared back at him, weighing whether he was bluffing or not. $10 million, I said without thinking. I don't know why I seem to be accepting the fact that he could help me, but there's no harm in trying, right? If he can help me in exchange for helping him, having him as my husband is better than having that perverted old man. 10 million, he mumbled as his forehead creased again. How will I know that you're not lying to me? I balled my fists. If you don't have the things I need, then I should go now. Wait. I said I'll help you. I just need to confirm your identity. You can't blame me, woman. I lifted my chin and grabbed my phone. I took my wallet while he took out his, and we handed over our IDs at the same time. Gray. Terrence Harrison, 29. Gray? That last name is familiar, but my mind has been in total chaos because of what's happening. Would it really be a wise choice to trust him? Sicko. Hey. Wake up, sicko. Who the hell is that? I slowly opened my eyes and caressed my forehead. My head kinda hurts and the person shaking me isn't helping. God damn it. It's making me dizzy. Finally awake, sicko? I glared at Terrence Harrison Gray, who was standing between me and the open door of the car. Will you stop calling me that? Weirdo. He just scoffed and turned his back. I grabbed my bag and got out of the car. I was shocked when I saw the huge mansion in front of us. My family is rich and our house is huge, but the house in front of me is twice larger than our house. This is where he lives? Just who the hell is he? Who the hell did I marry? I believe the family of Craig is also rich, but why are you salivating? I wiped my mouth and glared at Terrence Gray when I realized he was just teasing me. I found him smirking like a complete weirdo while looking at my face. Shut up. He just smirked again and started walking towards the entry. I followed him while having a hard time walking because of my heavy wedding gown. Why did I even choose this gown? Ah! I screamed when Terrence Gray suddenly lifted me from the ground. I wrapped my arms around his neck and looked at him sharply. What are you doing? If this isn't obvious, I'm carrying you because you're walking like a freaking turtle. I hissed. That's because the wedding gown is heavy. Whatever. He sarcastically rolled his eyes and continued walking. He put me on the couch when we reached the living area, and I noticed a woman, obviously younger than me, looking at us from the staircase. How sweet. Terrence Gray groaned. Shut up. You better tell me where and is Tiffany. Why are you asking me about her? You're the fiancé. You were the last person to see her this morning, Tiffany. Tell me where my fiancé is, and don't you dare lie to me. I just sighed and roamed my eyes around. This house is really huge and elegant. I wonder what Terrence Harrison Gray's occupation is. From his looks, I assume he's a businessman. If my hunch is right, then I must have heard his last name in the company or on the news. Why are you lashing out at me? I did not do anything, Terrence. Yes, you did. You probably said something to her. Even if I said something to her, if she really wants to marry you, she shouldn't have run away on your wedding day. And aren't you happy? You got a substitute bride there. My forehead creased as I looked at the young lady. She's looking at me as if checking me out. I shot an eyebrow up and looked at her blankly. I don't care if she's related to Terrence Gray. I'm a bitch to a bitch. The young lady rolled her eyes and turned her back. Tiffany, come back here. I covered my ears and looked at Terrence Gray when he shouted so loud. His face and neck were red, and his blue eyes were blazing. He looked extremely angry, but the young lady just went upstairs, completely ignoring him. What a brat. You might want to lend me some clothes and send me to my room, I said, looking at my accidental groom. He looked at me with an angry face. He's scary, but strangely, I'm not scared at all. Sleep with that dress. I'll ask my assistant to buy you a dress tomorrow. Tomorrow? My forehead creased. You don't mean I have to sleep with the same underwear, right? What does it sound like to you? Why? Do you want to wear mine instead? I gritted my teeth. Never mind. Perverted weirdo. Follow me, he rudely said and walked upstairs. I had to run to catch up with him, or I'd get lost in this huge mansion. We walked along the long hallway before he stopped in front of a room 2 rooms from the balcony. He opened the door and looked at me as he pushed his hands inside the pocket of his pants. This is your room. Just stay here and don't roam around. I'm leaving for a while, so make sure you're still here when I come back or your company will suffer. He was about to leave when I grabbed the sleeve of his suit. Wait. When he looked at me, I looked him in the eyes with desperation. You're really gonna help me, right? I'm not the kind to lie about something so serious. Just obey me, and I'll make sure you'll get what you want. For some reason, I felt assured by his answer, but I don't like his tone. I don't want anyone ordering me around, but for my mother's company, I will endure this. I did worse than this, having an agreement with an old perverted man who promised to give me money to save my mom's company. Staying with a weird man is nothing compared to that. Nodding, I let go of his sleeve. Thanks. He just clenched his jaws, still pissed. I swallowed hard as I watched him walk away. When he disappeared from my sight, I immediately shut the door and dropped my body on the bed. I took my phone out and searched for his name on the web. Terrence Harrison Gray. I mumbled as I typed his name, curious about his identity. I feel like he's a powerful and influential man. Let's see. I gasped and immediately sat on the bed with a shocked expression plastered on my face when information about him popped up on the screen. Terrence H. Gray, 29. Born on February 2nd, 1995. Single. President of Empire Gray. My jaws literally dropped because of the information I gathered. I married the wrong guy, but this guy could help me. He's even wealthier than Mr. Jones and my own family. He's a freaking billionaire. I cupped my mouth and stared at the screen of my phone. Good heavens. Is this a blessing in disguise? I was staring at the paper Dan gave me while sitting in the driver's seat of my car. I went to Anne's condo, but she wasn't there. I even called her friends and anyone I know who might know her whereabouts, but I still couldn't find her. The fact that she disappeared on our very wedding day is making me so fucking frustrated and worried. If she was abducted, her abductor should have called by now, but none. Emery Craig, I whispered the name of the woman I married today. I got a substitute bride just like what Tiffany said, but I'm not happy about it. Why did and leave me like that? If there's a problem, she can just tell me. I'm willing to listen to everything she's going to say. She's my fiancé. If she's not ready to marry me, she could just tell me. Someone knocked on the window of my car. I rolled it down after seeing Dan outside. Sir, I already talked to the manager of the bank. You just have to meet him tomorrow with the debtor and settle. I nodded. Thanks. Done. You can now go home and rest. Sir, I think having Miss Craig as your wife isn't a bad thing at all. I mean, she was an executive and she's a respectable woman. Plus, her zodiac sign matches yours. I glared at him. Are you tired of living, Dan? He immediately bowed his head. I should take my leave now, sir. It's past my working hours. Have a good night. I hissed and rolled the window up. It was almost dawn when I got back home. I was rubbing my sleepy eyes when I saw Dad sitting on the couch while drinking coffee. Dad, where have you been? Where's your wife? I glanced at the stairs. Upstairs. And she's not my wife, Dad. You married her. I shook my head. We haven't signed legal documents yet, and I have no intentions of signing anything. He took a deep breath and shifted his weight. Son, I think you should keep her by your side, even just for a year. My forehead creased. Dad, can you hear yourself? My real bride is missing and you want me to stay with a woman I mistakenly married? I won't do that. You have to. For the sake of the company. Terrence, if the board found out about this, they'd think you're not responsible enough to carry the responsibility of being the president. I may be the chairman, but the board has the right to appoint an executive. Clenching my jaws, I thought about the position I had a hard time reaching. Damn it. I squeezed my eyes closed and massaged the bridge of my nose. I can't just stay with her, Dad. She's not my real bride, and is missing. You don't even have to treat her as your real wife. Just do this for the show. And you said it yourself, you haven't signed any legal documents yet. I won't force you to sign one. Just keep her for a year. We need her to reassure the board now. Emery's POV. I woke up early the next day. When I sat on the bed, I saw some paper bags on the couch inside my room. I guess that's the clothes Terrence Gray was talking about. The paper bag has a dress, shoes, shampoo, body wash, and everything I need for the day. Nodding, I went to the bathroom to take a bath. I should talk to Terrence Gray now about our agreement. And since we didn't sign any documents, I don't think I should stay here. I went downstairs expecting only Terrence Gray, but I found more people in the dining hall. So this is a family house? Good morning. A man slightly resembling Terrence was the first to notice me. He smiled sweetly while his eyes were intensely looking at me. Come and sit with us, Hijja. An old man who I presumed to be the head of the family smiled and invited me. I smiled, giving back the same respect before bowing my head a little. Good morning. I sat beside Terrence, who was just sitting while reading the tabloid. In front of him was a cup of coffee. He didn't even greet me. What a jerk. How's your sleep? I smiled at the old man again. I had a good sleep, sir. When I looked at the other people on the dining table, I realized they were all looking at me. The young girl yesterday named Tiffany was looking at me with a bitchy look on her face. She's sitting in front of me. Beside her was the man who greeted me, still smiling and staring at me. While in front of Terrence, a woman I presumed was the mother was sitting silently while looking at me with a creased forehead. I know a rude person when I see one, and I can definitely tell that this family is full of rude people, except for the head of the family. After breakfast, Terrence brought me to the balcony to talk. He was puffing a cigarette early in the morning, and it's making my forehead crease. He looked so problematic when I couldn't see any problem here. If you think I'll be sentimental because of our accidental marriage, I won't. I will leave as soon as we settle our agreement. He looked at me, still not pleased with what I said. You can't leave just yet. You have to stay married to me. Fakely married, I mean. Confusion filled me. Why? I don't see any reason for me to stay. We're not really married. I need you to pretend to be my wife. I need to do this for the company. What? We're going to meet the manager of the bank today. If you agree to be my pretend wife for a year, you'll clear your debt this instant and your company will be saved. If you refuse, I'll buy your company and make you suffer. The choice is yours, so pick the best one. I had no choice but to agree to Terrence's terms. To save my mom's company, we'll keep our fake marriage for a year. After completing the contract, we were now at the bank paying for what my stupid half-brother had loaned. $10 million, even if for Mr. Jones, it was a huge amount and he could only pay in installments. But Terrence paid it off without blinking an eye. Thank you, Mr. Gray. I apologize on behalf of my colleagues for threatening your wife. The manager of the bank, who actually threatened me, bowed his head at Terrence apologizing. His two-sided face really disgusted me. Terrence didn't bother to glance at the manager and took me out of the building. Thank you, I said after we got in his car again. Terrence silently handed me the legal documents containing the ownership of the company. It's still under Ethan, my stepbrother's name, but I will make sure to get it back. I will not let him ruin the company that belongs to my mom. I've done my part, and don't forget your duty, or I'll take over your company without showing any mercy. I rolled my eyes and looked at him. I won't run away, mister.
Just drop me off at a bus stop.
I'll manage after that. Give me your home address. I'll drop you off at your house. What for? There's no need for you to know about my house. You're my wife. My pretend wife, rather. I need to know where to find you, if you're not at my house.
Fine.
I scoffed and shook my head. I told him the address, and he really dropped me off. I just lazily waved at him, while he stared at me. When I entered the house, I saw Dad and his wife arguing about something. 3 men were standing in front of them, and it looked like they were harassing them. Emery, my evil stepmother, looked at me with blazing evil eyes. I looked at her boredly. What have you been doing, woman? These people are saying that you haven't paid the loan. What did you do with the money that you got from Mr. Jones? You're just as useless as I thought. I gritted my teeth and glared at her. Without saying anything, I took the document off my back and showed it to the people in front of us. Didn't your manager inform you? I just paid the loan.
We're sorry, ma'am.
We should take our leave now. I lifted my chin and pressed my lips together when Martina, my dad's wife, laughed mockingly. Look how she played her cards well. Your skills are really amusing, Emery. Did you satisfy that old man last night? Stop it, Martina. Dad glared at his wife, and just when I thought he was finally on my side, he looked at me and said, "Thank you for doing this for our family, Em." Our family? I laughed mockingly as I folded the paper and looked at him again with a blank face. I can't believe him. You know why I did this, Dad? He nodded and softly stared at my face. Yes, and I know you won't disappoint me. Get along with Mr. Jones, Em. Make him happy, since he really helped us. If not for him,
Please.
I growled as I gritted my teeth. I took a deep breath and looked at him with hatred. He never fails to disappoint me. I will get my position back, Dad. I will ask the board to put me back in position because I will really not allow a stupid gambler and good-for-nothing mama's boy to bring my company down.
Martina gasped.
How dare you insult my son, Emery? I just smirked at her before I went upstairs to get my clothes. Just for a year. I need to endure this for a year.
God.
I hate my life. Riding my own car, I went to the company first. I need to know the situation in the company. I'm sure the board is pissed because of what's happening. I need to talk to her now. Call her. A familiar voice welcomed me after I reached the floor of my office. A familiar man, arguing with my executive assistant, is in front of my office. Miss Craig is not here, sir.
I'm sorry. No.
Tell her to come out or I'll ruin the door. I gritted my teeth and roamed my eyes around. My employees are watching, and some are even filming the scene. Bonnie, I called my assistant, who looked very relieved after seeing me. Miss Craig, he's insisting on seeing you. I'll handle this. She looked hesitant, but I ignored her and went to my office. Mr. Jones immediately followed me. The employees outside were watching, so I had to close the blinds. What the hell was that, Emery? You came to me asking for my help, but you didn't attend the wedding? I sighed and looked him in the eyes. I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. Our deal is off.
What?
Do you think the bank will give you consideration? I already paid the bank, Mr. Jones. So the deal is off. His forehead creased, and I can see that his anger has intensified. Are you kidding me? I'm willing to give you money with only marriage in return, but you have the guts to say that? Who do you think you are? Do you think someone will give you that large amount of money, just like me?
Huh?
I nodded. Fortunately, someone did. I'm sorry again, Mr. Jones, for wasting your time. He shook his head and angrily pointed a finger at me. I will make sure you'll regret this. I will make you pay for fooling me. You gold digger bitch. After Mr. Jones left, I shook my head in disbelief. I opened the blinds and sat on my chair, massaging my forehead, but the door swung open again, and the person I didn't expect to see here entered. Terrence, I called his name as I looked outside the glass wall of my office.
Great.
Why are you here? I asked with a creased forehead. He roamed his eyes before he sat on the couch and looked at me. Visiting my wife. I laughed without humor. Don't even try to make me laugh. You just did, he said as he stared at me blankly. I gritted my teeth and glared at him. Why are you here, Terrence? My employees will be curious and will make a fuss because of you. Let them die of envy. I rolled my eyes. You're so arrogant. I saw Mr. Jones outside. Was he your supposed husband? Looking away, I answered.
Yeah.
He's a perverted old man, sicko. I told you to stop calling me that.
He smirked.
You have to take an absence today. You're coming with me to my company. Why would I? Raising an eyebrow, I asked. He walked towards me, and I was shocked when he grabbed my swivel chair and pulled me closer to him. His hands rested on the armrest of my chair as he bent forward and moved his face closer to mine. My lips parted in shock as the corner of his lips rose, showing an arrogant smirk. I'm going to introduce my wife to the board of my company. Do I really have to be here to convince them that you're actually married to me? I asked as I watched the people coming in and out of the tall building of Empire Gray.
This is really happening.
I'm really married. Not actually married, but fakely married to the wealthiest man in the country. I still can't believe this. Terrence looked at me lazily and grimaced. It's not like you'll tell each and every one of them that you're married to me. You just have to act sweet, baby. Baby? He shot an eyebrow up. You don't like that? How about love? Babe? Honey? Sweetie? Wait. I lifted my arm and laughed without humor. You're not serious with that, right? He crossed his arms. Look me in the eye and tell me I'm joking. I gasped and gritted my teeth. Terrence, I'm not gonna call you using those cheesy and stupid endearment. I'm not forcing you, but if they notice something that they shouldn't, say goodbye to your company. I glared at him. Are you threatening me? The corner of his lips rose as unbuckled his seatbelt. Not really. I'm saying you should help me since I helped you. It's just give and take, love. Shut it. Your endearment is making me puke. Not really, but I feel uncomfortable when he calls me with such endearment because it's affecting me. Damn it. He smirked even more arrogantly.
Why?
Does it sound so sexy that you're wetting your pants? I got out of the car and shook my head in disbelief after I heard his bark of laughter. Damn. This perverted billionaire. I thought I got away from a perverted husband, but it turned out he's also one. Good morning, Mr. Gray. Terrence threw his car key to the man who greeted him. I remember him. He was the man who approached Terrence and whispered something to him at our wedding. I just crossed my arms and looked at the entrance of the building. This is really amusing. See how badass your husband is. I jumped in shock when Terrence whispered in my ear. He was behind me, and when he stood beside me, I immediately hit his stomach. He coughed and chuckled as he looked at me. Violent. I like that. I hissed. Shut up and let's get this over with. He chuckled.
Yeah.
You just have to French kiss me in front of them, and it's over. I looked at him in disbelief. Don't you have anything to say other than perverted things? He just smirked and wrapped his arm around my waist. I flinched when his palm rested on my stomach. I felt my cheeks start burning. What the hell? A mere touch from him could affect me like this? Am I a teenager? He leaned closer to me again and whispered in my ear. Act naturally, baby. I'm gonna spank your pretty ass if you don't. Arg. I stepped on his shoe, and I made sure my heel would squeeze his toe. He looked at me with widened eyes and a pale face, enduring the pain. Let's go, baby. I'm excited to meet the board of your company, I said, smirking sarcastically, and started walking away, leaving him groaning in pain. That's what you get. He managed to catch up and he frowned before he walked straight beside me. I thought we could get to his office or to wherever we were going peacefully, but a group of reporters suddenly appeared around us. My eyes widened as I looked at Terrence. He doesn't look shocked, as if he's expecting this. What the hell? Mr. Gray, we heard that you got married privately. Is she your wife? Aren't you the famous Emery Craig? How long have you been in a relationship with Mr. Gray? How did you two meet? Is this the sign of your company's merging? I saw Terrence clench his jaws with a serious face. I don't know how to react. He showed me two sides of him, and I don't know what's real. His playful side or his serious side. I don't know. Either way, he's handsome as FCK. Mr. Gray, can you tell us how you met Miss Craig? I thought Terrence would continue to ignore them, but he stopped and looked at the woman who asked, as if he was offended. Hold it right there. It's kind of offending to hear Miss before my wife's name. Shouldn't it be Mrs. Gray? I couldn't hide the irritation on my face because of what he said. Really? He could convince the people that way? Terrence smirked arrogantly and pulled me closer to him again, his arm around my waist. This perverted weirdo is testing my patience, huh? I hugged his waist too and smiled at the reporters. I don't think sharing private information is necessary. We're married and in love. That's all that matters, right, monkey? His smile faded and his forehead immediately creased. The people around us laughed because of the endearment. Ha! Serves you right. That's a very unique endearment, Mrs. Gray. I laughed and looked at the female reporter. I know, right? I just find it so cute whenever he's serious. He looks like a monkey searching for a fight. And the crowd laughed again. I bit my bottom lip and looked at Terrence. His frown slowly faded, and he smiled cunningly. My baby is really unique and sweet, right? Who would have thought that we met in a train station? My forehead creased. Train station? What the hell? I don't ride the train, because I have a car. You meet in a train station, Mr. Gray? Terrence laughed. Yes. I thought she was homeless because she was sitting on the corner, and I dropped some coins in front of her. She cursed me, saying she was just tying her shoelace. Irritation filled me as I heard the crowd's bark of laughter. Seriously? That's lame. I looked up at him with a creased forehead. He looked down at me, and I was shocked when he pecked on my lips. He did that smoothly and naturally, and I felt my cheeks burning, and the crowd went wild. I was holding my breath the whole time. He asked the reporters to give way to us. Excuse us. My baby tigress is getting angry. She doesn't really want to talk about our embarrassing first meeting, he said, whispering his last sentence like he didn't want me to hear it. I was still frozen until we got inside the elevator. When the door slid closed, I immediately faced him and punched his stomach. He endured the pain as he coughed. You perverted weirdo. Why did you kiss me again? He looked at me with narrowed eyes but smirking lips. That's what you get for calling me monkey. You. I was shocked again when he pushed my back against the elevator and caged me between his arms. He moved his face closer, and I was in awe while looking into his blue pair of eyes. He smiled again, and his dimple showed, making me feel like I was losing my mind. What the hell is this? Am I attracted to him? That's barely a kiss, baby. Do you want me to give you a real kiss this time? What? A knee-wobbling French kiss is my specialty. Wanna try? He whispered, which gave me goosebumps. I gasped, and that's when the elevator door slid open and the person standing in front of us dropped all the folders she was carrying. She looked horrified with burning red cheeks. FCK. I couldn't stand losing, so I leaned closer to him and met his playful blue eyes. Is that kiss a monkey kiss? His forehead creased, but before he could rebut, I pushed him and stepped out of the elevator. I smiled at the female employee who was staring at me with a shocked face. Alice, inform all the departments and the board. I'm gonna introduce my wife to everyone. Terrence stepped out of the elevator arrogantly as he fixed his coat. The woman in front of us panicked again and quickly picked up the document she dropped. I picked one and slowly handed it to her. She was looking at me in awe, and I don't know if I should be proud or get offended. I don't even know why she's looking at me like that. Why, yes, Mr. Gray. My forehead creased as I watched the woman turn her back and walk fast but awkwardly. I turned to Terrence and scoffed at him. Look what you did. He frowned. What? Is it my fault that we look like we're about to FCK when she sees us? I laughed without humor. That's definitely your fault, Mr. Gray. He just lazily shrugged his shoulders and wrapped his arm around my waist again. Whatever. Let's go, Mrs. Gray. That made me blush. It's embarrassing and so absurd to feel this, but he really affects me. God, this is bad. This is very, very bad. We're just gonna pretend for a year, and I can't get attached to him. True to his words, Terrence introduced me to everyone in the company. Even the security personnel knows me now, and I don't know how to react to that. Was that necessary? This pretension is really on another level. I will not even be shocked if the news spreads crazily like wildfire and reaches my dad. Let's go. Terrence held my waist again as he whispered. To where? To the dogs. I'm gonna introduce you to them. I gritted my teeth and looked at him. We entered the elevator, and we were alone inside. He looked at me and laughed when he saw my sharp glares. What? He seemed to be enjoying seeing me pissed, huh? I'm tired, Terrence. My feet are hurting, and if you continue going sarcastic on me, I'm gonna stab you using my heels. He smirked. Relax. We're going to my office now. We'll have an early lunch there, and I'll have Dan to send you back to your company. I rolled my eyes and crossed my eyes. He was just watching me with an annoying grin, and I'm trying so hard to stop myself from punching him again. Boxing is my hobby, if he's not aware of it, and I was restraining myself when I punched him twice today. Why do I feel like you're cutting my head off of my body inside, that pretty head of yours? I glared at him. Why do I feel like you're very energetic for a groom who married the wrong bride? It got him. He stood straight and pushed his hands inside the pocket of his pants. He clenched his jaws, and his expression became serious. I shook my head. When we got inside his office, he went straight to his swivel chair, while I roamed my eyes around. I heard him talking to someone on the intercom as I slowly walked towards the couch and sat there. I looked at him, and he's now looking at the computer on his table. Sulking. I sighed. Right. I crossed the line this time. I said words that would hurt him. I'm sorry, I said as I looked away. I felt his gaze on mine, but I just bit my bottom lip. You actually apologize, right? I looked at him with a creased forehead. Are you being sarcastic? He frowned. I just want to know if you're saying half-hearted apologies, and I think I'm right. I grimaced. I apologized. All you have to do is to accept it. He opened his mouth to speak again when my phone rang. I took it from my bag and answered the call without taking my eyes off of Terrence, who seemed to be challenging me in a staring competition. Hello? Ain't. Oh my God. Was that for real? You're married? How? I mean, really? The hottest bachelor in the country? What did you do in your past life to deserve a hottie like him? My eyes widened as I saw how an arrogant smirk curved on Terrence's lips because of the loud voice from my phone. God. She was so loud that the arrogant and perverted weirdo heard what she was talking about. Now, he's looking at me with a very proud face. Ouch! Georgina. Jesus. Are you planning to break my eardrums? Seriously? I growled and looked away from Terrence. This is embarrassing. I shifted my seat and crossed my legs. You have to tell me what happened, Em. Oh. I'm so excited. I rolled my eyes. My only friend, a crazy friend, Georgina, doesn't really know how to act naturally. Aren't you even worried about me? Why would I be worried? He's a good catch. Duh. I shook my head. Where are you? You just disappeared last week. Don't tell me you're grounded again? She laughed like a madwoman. Who says grounded applies to me? I'm being a bitch on the beach. Hunk hunting, you see. But I guess you're the one who caught a hunk there. I rolled my eyes. Come on. Tell her to call you back later, baby. We need to eat. My eyes widened at Terrence because of what he said, and he actually said that as he leaned closer to my phone from behind. Now, Georgina's screaming like crazy on the other line. All right, baby, call you later. Bye, baby. I massaged my forehead and looked at Terrence again after Georgina ended the call while laughing, teasing me. Are you serious? He used a fork to bring a vegetable in his mouth before he answered.
Yeah.
I'm famished. I hissed and looked at the food on the coffee table. I shot an eyebrow up. Veggies? Really? What? You don't like veggies? I pursed my lips and shook my head. Not a fan of veggies.
All right.
He grabbed his phone and dialed someone. Dan, get me some meat. My pretty carnivore here is allergic to veggies. I'm not an animal. He dropped his phone on the couch beside me and sat properly on the single couch.
Nah.
A tigress is definitely a carnivore mammal. A nocturnal beast. Don't attack me at night. I sleep naked. I gritted my teeth as my cheeks and neck burned, both in embarrassment and annoyance. Shut up. Why are you so loud? I'm not a fan of noises. He chuckled. I think that makes us compatible, huh? What else do you dislike? So, I can tell the chef at home to cook it every day. I took a very deep breath and massaged my forehead. He's pissing me off again. Never mind. Talking to him is draining my energy.
Gosh.
He's very talkative. I couldn't even count how many words he had said today. I glared at him as I pressed my lips together. He laughed hard and pointed at my face.
Look at that.
Don't glare at me like you want to eat me. We'll make a huge scene here if you do. I moaned loudly. I grabbed my hair in frustration. Oh God, I hate drugs. Same here, baby.
Arg.
He smirked as he continued eating his dear veggies. Someday I will cut him into pieces like his damn veggies. Emery's POV. Georgina put her glass on the table after drinking her shot and looked at me. So, tell me what really happened. How did you end up marrying the great Terrence Gray? I shook my head. You sound like you're worshipping him. She lifted her arms. Girl, that's Terrence Gray, the hottest bachelor. Just tell me. Come on. I took a deep breath and drank my shot before I looked at her again. Georgina's lips parted as she covered her mouth. Oh no. Don't tell me this was your pretentious stepmom's doing again. I shook my head and crossed my legs. Not the stepmother. The stepbrother. She frowned as if disgusted. That gambling addict asshole? What did he do this time?
Gosh.
I might cut his dick off and feed it to him. I really hate your family. I smirked at her and sighed again before I dropped my gaze on the glass in my hand. I'm too tired to tell you everything. But to make the story short, I gambled. You gambled? With Terrence Gray? He was a collateral damage. I just mistakenly married him because of some stupid and complicated game of fate. He helped me get the company back and in exchange, I'll stay with him for a year. When I looked at Georgina again, her lips were parted. I groaned. Come on, Georgiana. It doesn't make sense, Why would you mistakenly marry him? I mean, he was at your wedding? I chuckled after remembering the situation. It was the other way around, Georgina. I was at his wedding. Her eyes widened in fractions and roamed her eyes around. He was getting married? I massaged my forehead and looked around us. We're in a bar. After she called me last night, she immediately fled back home, and now she forced me to meet her tonight. It's a good thing she's here, actually. I have someone I can talk to. I don't want to talk with Terrence Gray. I might go crazy because of his stupid logic.
Yes.
Now, let's stop talking about myself. Let's just drink. You want to get wasted? She smirked at me. I smirked back.
No.
I won't stay long because I have a very judgmental mother-in-law. She laughed hard and kicked my heels. Come on. It's not like she's the one you're sleeping with at night. Just ignore her. I frowned. We have different rooms, Georgina. Don't overthink.
What?
Aren't you even tempted by your husband? He's a total hottie,
Come on.
Since you're already in this situation, grab the chance. Sleep with him. You'd regret it once this is over. I won't. Yes, he's hot. He's damn hot. He's a freaking walking sex god, but I won't sleep with him. He might not stop talking while doing that knowing that he's very talkative.
Arg.
That's weird.
She scoffed.
Give up on your V-card, This is a modern world. Have fun. I just frowned and poured on my glass again. I drank it straight, but someone suddenly dropped himself beside me, leaving no space between, and I immediately started coughing after realizing who it was. My eyes widened, and I saw Georgina's lips parted while looking at the man beside me. I felt my cheeks burn as I felt his chest against my shoulder. His arm was resting on the couch where I was leaning my back, and he's so close that I can smell his breath. A combination of alcohol and cigarettes. Terrence, are you following me here? He smirked sexily, showing his dimple.
Damn.
Don't get your hopes too high, baby. I have a social life too. I want to have fun. My forehead creased as I roamed my eyes around. Your friends? At the VIP. I turned to him again and glared. Then why are you here? Because I was told that my wife is here. And he paused and looked at Georgina. Won't you introduce me to your friend? Georgina flipped her hair and offered a handshake. She even shot her eyebrow up. Best friend, Mr. Gray. I know the whole story, so you don't have to pretend around me. Georgina. Terrence smirked and accepted Georgina's hand. Nice meeting you, Georgina. Terrence here. And I'm not pretending. I'm just naturally sweet. My wife knows that very well. I looked at him in annoyance. We're having girls talk here, Terrence. Go back to your friends.
All right.
He pulled himself up and smiled at me. Call me if you want to go home already. I brought my car. I lazily lifted my car keys. Same with mine. He pursed his lips. Then, I'll ride with you, yours, I mean. I heard Georgina choke and cough. I gritted my teeth and glared at Terrence again. He smiled sweetly and innocently as if irritating me even more, and I was shocked when he suddenly pecked on my lips before he walked away, waving his hand. What the? O, to the M, to the G. Are you sure he's not in love? I swallowed hard and slowly looked at Georgina. He's not. If he's not in love with that attitude, what more if he falls? Shut it, Georgina. I growled and drank another shot. That will never happen. You can never tell. I roamed my eyes around, and I felt so pathetic after I saw people who seemed to be reporters. He was pretending. Of course, he's just pretending. Why the hell did I blush at that? I cleared my throat and poured my shot glass again. I could feel Georgina's eyes on me, but I ignored her. I continued drinking, a bit annoyed because of Terrence. Damn it, I will make sure that our 1-year agreement will end without me falling for him.
Shit.
This is dangerous.